Hello and welcome to the Limitless Podcast. I am so glad you are here. Lots and lots of things are going on with the Limitless brand and with the Heron family. So if you have been watching me on social media, we just married off our youngest daughter, and it was such an amazing experience, such a beautiful, beautiful celebration. She intentionally wanted a small celebration, and it was so incredible because she knew, her and her now spouse knew every single person that was in attendance to their wedding. And it was just so incredibly special. So we come back from that amazing celebration, and now we're living in a little bit of chaos. Our current home is the room that I'm in right now. My office is probably the only room that is still put together. And we will be moving by early October to our newer, now being renovated home back home in Oklahoma City. So we're super excited about that, but lots going on. And obviously so many wonderful things, but just giving you a little update on what's happening over here. So next time you see me, next couple of times, I may be in a new location. So stay tuned for that. I am super excited about this podcast. And, as I dive in more and more into the subconscious, into reprogramming our thoughts and our beliefs, there really is more and more that starts to shine light and shed really a lot of knowledge and information as I coach my one-on-one clients and my group coaching as well. And I want to share this information with you today. And this is really about the cost of hiding ourselves. And most of us truly don't recognize that we are actually in a state of hiding ourselves. And I want to break that wide open, if you will allow me to do that. I'm going to open you up a little bit. I'm going to help you see some things that maybe are causing you a lot of frustration or a little frustration, causing you to really hide from your true purpose and why you are here on this earth. So let's get started on this. It's the cost of hiding ourselves. And I want to start off and just ask the question of, have you ever wondered or noticed that you play different roles in your life, that you are one person with your best friend and a different person with another friend? You are one person as a parent and you're a different person as a wife. And maybe it's similar roles that you play, but you build yourself and you allow yourself to be a little bit of a chameleon to actually fit into what others perceive who you are, who others want you to be. And so I want to ask you, why do you keep showing up as who you think people want you to be instead of who you really are? I'm not here to cast blame or shame or guilt. This is just a question I want you to think about. And I'm going to go deeper to help you really identify why that happens, because you're unaware of it. And you can't be held accountable for things that you are unaware of. Now, once I make you aware of them, now it's time to look into it and maybe do the work. I want you to understand that you're moving from different roles with different people, thinking that you have to be someone different than who you are. That didn't start in your adulthood. That actually started in your childhood. Many of us, most of us, I would say 99% of us, made an unspoken agreement with our parents, with our caretakers, that basically said, I'll be who you need me to be as long as you keep me safe and you love me. And what I mean by keeping me safe in this particular incident, in this particular agreement, the safety was, I'm not safe being who I am. So I am going to be whoever you need me to be in this relationship, compliant, a good girl, a good boy, not talking back, being quiet when we're in public, whatever that is, whatever it is that you need me to be, I'm going to be that because it's not safe being myself, and I want you to love me. The moment that you change who you believe you are, everything changes. So once you start to recognize I can be who I am and no longer have to hide myself in fear of not being loved and not feeling safe, everything changes, my friend. Everything changes. Why do we hide ourselves? It's because of what I just said. It's because we made that unspoken agreement with our caretaker that we are more approved, we are more accepted in that role when we are quiet, when we are helpful, or when we are perfect. And maybe you were told at some time in your childhood that you're too much, you're too emotional, you're not enough. I've heard stories from my clients that tell me some of the things that they were actually told by their parents. It's heart-wrenching, right? It's heart-wrenching completely. And so you learn to hide, you learn to mold yourself into who they needed. But more than that, in adulthood, we actually learned how to compensate for what we feel we're not enough, we're too much, or we're too emotional. We learn to compensate that. And what that looks like is very different based on the story that is living within you, the story that we choose to believe about ourselves because of a circumstance or a person told us, said something to us. We make up this story, and we make up this story that I'm not enough being who I am. I'm pausing for a minute because I want you to really understand that's just a story. Those are just words. It is not your truth. The circumstance we allowed to define us. The person we allowed to define us. I want you to truly get this. You are defined by your creator, period. And your creator says you're boundless, limitless, infinite possibilities and pure love, pure joy. That's your truth. So we learn to hide and we learn to mold ourselves into who people need us to be. And while that kept us safe then, it keeps us very trapped now. Let's look into what you can do to really release that trap and really stand fully authentically into who you are. So if you've been with me a while, you understand that I talk a lot about the subconscious life, the subconscious world, the subconscious thoughts that we have. And 95% of our daily thoughts, actions, and results are coming from the subconscious mind. They're just running on subconscious programming. We don't even recognize that our mind is doing it. We are unconscious of it. But until we make the unconscious conscious, the subconscious will continue to run our lives, and we will call it fate. And I want you to understand that you have the choice to have complete control over the stories, those stories that are constantly playing in your head of negativity, lack, and limitation. You do have control of those. We just have to make you aware of those. So your mind isn't just reacting to the world. It isn't. It's creating it. It's creating your reality based on those conversations that are happening over and over in your mind that are telling you what you are not. It's creating the world around you. And we also have proof. There's proof that those stories have played out in our past. And so we're constantly looking into the past to prove this story of I'm not enough. It showed up here, 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 and here. We have proof of that. But I want you to understand that that story was in your mind, and your mind attracted the story to play out. Your mind attracted that even when you were a child. So can you understand and see that if you are able to change that story, you can change how you create your reality? Because it's not your truth. remember, your truth is from your creator. That programming, all of our programming is built around the story of who we believe we are. So if we change the story of who we believe we are, we will change the reality of our world. If your identity is life is hard, life is hard. It's always been hard. It's always been hard. It's hard to make money. I'm not important. Your mind will filter your reality to confirm it. That's its job. Okay, this is what she believes. All right, this is what he believes. Making money is hard. I need to go out and prove to them that they're correct. Why is that? It's because the lens through which you view the life, it's the lens through which your subconscious sees is through that story. If it were something different, money comes to me easily, that would change everything. Your subconscious would prove to you, oh yeah, see, money comes to you easily. Now, I wish it was that easy to say an affirmation to change the story. That doesn't work. I just want you to understand it doesn't work. You actually have to reprogram. You have to change. There's a method to changing that story that's actually playing in your subconscious mind. There is a series of methods that will help you to do that. And that's what I do in my coaching programs. So no matter how much you want to change, your subconscious will pull you back into those old roles as long as the story continues to play. So I'm going to give you some of my coaching questions. These are some questions that I use in my one-on-one coaching because I want to help you. I want to help you identify your stories. So I'm going to ask you these stories, and I want you to understand that I love you. And I want you to understand that the reason why I'm asking you these questions is because I want to bring up that story that is keeping you stuck in suffering and continuing to repeat patterns over and over in your life. So they may kind of sting a little bit. So I'm just warning you. I ask these questions intentionally because we want to bring out what's really going on in the subconscious mind. So where in your life do you play a role? Every day, where are you playing a role? And I want you to understand that our suffering is caused by the underlying conversation of lack. That's where our suffering is, that underlying conversation of lack. Money's hard to make. Life is too hard. I'm not important. Those are playing in our mind over and over and over. And so our subconscious is seeking in our life on where it can prove that to be true. And that story keeps us showing up in the world inauthentically. And when we're showing up in the world inauthentically, this means that we are actually lying to ourselves and we're lying to others. That's a hard word to say, but I want you to recognize that's truly what inauthenticity is. It's lying to ourselves. It's not fully expressing who we are. It's not fully expressing your complete soul's essence of why you're here on this earth. And I want you to understand when you're not completely standing in the truth of who you are, the impact that you are here to create will never happen, will never happen. And so as you shed these stories, you become more authentically yourself because you're releasing the fears. And when you release the fears, you release the suffering, because the fear is, I'm not safe to be who I am. I'm not safe. It's not safe to me. Because in the past, I was told, you're too loud, you're too much, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So we were either told something or we were shown something. But I am not here to put blame on our parents, because I truly believe that we came into this life with these stories of lack and limitation. Everybody has them. They just show up in different wording, different conversation based on our experiences. So I'm not here, again, to put blame on our parents. These are what we are here to heal. Everyone is here to heal these stories. So where you lie to yourself, I want you to understand you completely lose yourself. And an example would be, in my marriage, I chose for many, many years to be the quote, good wife. My definition and what I thought my husband's definition of a good wife was. And I made dinner every single night from scratch. I cleaned the house. I was the house cleaner. I attended all of his events. He was a coach. I went to all of his events. Plus, I got up early in the morning and went to do hospital rounds and clinic, etc. I had a lot of responsibility. And then I helped with the kids. I was the caretaker for the kids while my husband traveled. I lost myself because I was lying that that is what my role was. That may be a role for somebody else and they love that. That was not me. That was not me. I would rather have someone come in and cook good meals for us than me to do it. I would rather the number of years that I sacrificed myself and put my body in harm's way just to compensate for being what I thought a good wife. I'm a good wife. And without doing all those things, that doesn't make you a good wife. So those are some of the things that I want you to recognize. Where is it that you are lying to yourself, that you're actually losing yourself? And that cost of losing myself caused a lot of resentment in my marriage and a lot of frustration. What will happen to you if your pain disappears? The pain of wearing that mask and hiding actually who you are. We actually hold on to our wounds because they feel like it's who we are. And what I say to a lot of my clients, it's the you think you are. It's the you believe you are. That's what we need to look at. It's the identity. Yes, it feels like, but Deanna, I know that there are time and time again when so-and-so made me feel unimportant. So-and-so told me that I'm not important. Whatever that was, those wounds feel like our identity because we hold on to those because of that past experience. And it does feel real. But I want you to understand it really isn't real. It's just a story that was made up. You could put someone else in that same situation that you were in, and they will create a different story. So if you have two people in the same situation that have created the same story, it's not true, my friend. It's not an absolute truth. It is just a identity, and identities need to be destroyed unless it's your truth. And your truth is your boundless love, infinite possibilities, and have limitless potential. But who are you if that story vanishes? This is the fear of freedom. The fear of freedom. Sometimes we hang on to that because it's so familiar. That story, that chaos, it's so familiar to us. We're afraid to let it go. It's an attachment without even us recognizing that we're attached to it. So are you ready to be free? Are you ready to be free? Instead of asking yourself, why am I like this? Or what's wrong with me? I hear this all the time. What's wrong with me? Why am I like this? I want you to ask yourself, what for? What for? What hidden benefit comes from staying stuck? What hidden benefit? And sometimes it's familiar pain and it just feels safer. It just feels safer than the unknown freedom. But truly, it's because we are so accustomed to being who we are, we're afraid to let it go because we don't know what's on the other side of that. We don't know what the future holds. The future, when we're constantly thinking about the future, can cause a lot of grief, can cause a lot of fear, can cause a lot of worry in your present moment. So the biggest thing that I can tell you about what does it look like if I let this go, I don't know. I don't know. But what I can tell you is if you let it go, you are going to be 100% happier than who you are. You are. You're going to feel freedom. And that freedom may be uncomfortable in the beginning, but as you continue to rewire that subconscious, that freedom will become the default mechanism. And that's truly what we're looking for. Which fear are you afraid to face? Or you can even think about, what is it that I refuse to face? I just don't even want to look there. And this is really happens to a lot of people. I refuse to face it. I don't even want to think about, my parents, my childhood was perfect. I don't even want to tell anybody that my father screamed at us. I don't even, that's just the way my father was. That screaming at us, there's nothing harmful that was done to me. I just obeyed and moved on. And I'm not saying that necessarily screaming is a trauma or screaming is a bad thing, but the way that our body reacts to that, we can create a story to that. So which fear are you afraid to face? As long as you turn away, fear makes decisions for you. And fear will make decisions for you: who you date, who you marry. I got to marry this person because this is pretty good. It's pretty good. He takes good care of me. He makes good money. But are you in love? Do you really feel that maybe you're just settling? Have you ever thought about that? Fear will make decisions for you. Fear will make a decision on a career. Fear will make decisions on relationships, money, where you put your money, how you save your money, how you spend your money. That fear will make those decisions. And fear will also make the decisions on what dreams you pursue, all dictated by what's hidden in the mind. What's hidden in the mind. And lastly, ask yourself this question: who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when no one is watching? No roles, no applause, no expectations. This is where you meet your shadow. The shadow, that's the underlying story that's playing that we are unaware of. That's why it's called a shadow. That's playing in the subconscious mind. This is where you meet your shadow, but it's also where you meet your truest self. And only here do you begin to live authentically. So think about that. Who are you when no one's around? Who are you when no one's watching? That's authentically who you are. That's authentically who you are. So I hope those questions have stirred up a little bit for you. I want you to learn to stop hiding yourself and to stop relying on someone else to make you safe. That all comes from within you. When you are 100% comfortable with all of you, the shadow and the true self, this is when authenticity really shines, my friend. You don't need a strategy. You just need programming, reprogramming. You need to understand what is running your show and understand too that you have the power to rewrite that story. You have the power to rewrite that story. Take a moment this week and answer those questions. Answer those questions in your journal. Really think about where is it that I show up in different roles? Where do I play a role every day? What will happen if my pain disappears? Why do I remain the way that I am right now? Why do I remain that way? Why do I keep repeating patterns over and over and over? Which fear do I refuse to face? And finally, who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when no one is watching? Ask yourself those questions this week. And remember, the moment you change who you believe you are, your entire life changes. Your entire life changes. I'm here for you. I'm on your side. And I want to see you live your true soul's essence in this world and make the impact you are here to impact. And that main impact that you need to make is the impact on yourself. God bless you. I love you. I'll see you next week. Hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Limitless Podcast. If you loved it, and I know you did, make sure to like and subscribe and share it with others. Help us get the message out. See you next week.